Just, of course, you're clearly disappointed with the loss. Anytime you lose, it's not a good feeling. Um, you have to look at the positives. And that's what I told my team is that we played hard. We never gave up. I didn't hear any finger pointing on the sidelines or any negative talk. It was always positive, even until the very end. And that's a good sign. We left a lot of plays on the football field. A lot of areas where we can grow, and we're going to grow. And we have to stay committed to that. I think that's the part that I'm excited about is that, you look at these losses as learning experiences, and we're going to learn. We don't lose, we learn. Now we have to really take that to heart and grow. This is an awesome opportunity for us to grow and get better and look at our mistakes. And we'll look at a couple plays here or there, and it's a different ball game. We never felt like the game was out of hand or could have gotten out of hand. And I was curious to see how we were going to respond to adversity. And it showed a lot of things. I felt like Drew played well enough for us to win. Our defense gave up some big plays and on things that we can correct. And given this unit is relatively young on the back end, that's a learning experience against a really good football team on the road. And now we have to learn and we have to grow from it. So without having looked at the tape, those are my initial feelings about it. But my hat really goes off to Cincinnati and their head coach. His team played Nebraska tough last week. 7 straight losses coming into the year, so you knew they were going to come out and play with an edge, and we had to match that. So that energy, and our guys never blinked in the eye of the storm. So that's the one part that I'm really proud of. But we have to get better. We have to commit to getting better this week, and that's it. So I'll open it for questions.
All right. When you ask questions, I got a mic here. Please introduce yourself and give them your media outlet.
Hey, Coach. Michael Burwell with the Toledo Blade. Obviously, your Drew Pine in the passing attack goes really well, but what were they doing in their passing game that made things difficult? And obviously, a lot of big plays and everything.
Yeah, well, communication breakdowns. There were some guys running free. I saw a lot of hesitation in our back end. Some communication. Quarterback did a great job. Last week he threw for 68 yards, and he looked like he struggled quite a bit on tape, even going back to last season with passing the ball. But he felt confident in there, and we weren't going to help our corners out because we were predicated on stopping the run. And he said, hey, if he can beat us throwing the football, God bless him. And guess what? He did that. And so that's what the issue was. I think we missed a couple of tackles here or there, but when you have guys that are wide open, the 50-50 balls, the receiver Caldwell made an outstanding catch. We're very familiar with that young man with the Lindenwood. Last year we played against him at Tennessee State, so we're very familiar with his playmaking ability, and you got to live with that. I mean, we got to learn how to defend those balls, and we got to get better on the outside, and we have to, again, understand what we're doing and why it's so important to communicate and be on top of it in real time. It's one thing to do it in practice and in training camp, but when the lights are on and the pressure's on, can you execute at a high level without panicking? And, I have to go back and have to look at exactly what happened and get the grave details, but these are the things that we have to learn and grow from.
Sean Connolly, Falcon Media Sports Network. Offense clearly found rhythm in the second half. Just what did you see from their performance today?
Just that, Drew really came on in the second half. I think he threw for almost 200 yards in the second half. We were able to get a turnover. We were able to get in situations where we were able to score but didn't on four drives. But we always felt like, again, we ran the ball really well against them. I think we had almost 100 yards during the course of the game rushing the ball. We just had to get on point on the same page with our passing attack. And you kind of could see it come together, but the good thing is that Drew really stayed patient in it. He the game slowed down for him, and that's encouraging. So to see our offense able to move the ball against a defense that pretty much held Nebraska in check for the most part was really encouraging. Now we have to finish our drives, not just with field goals, but with touchdowns. And that's just the next step for our offense. You have to remember, Drew didn't have a spring with us. Everything he's done came from the summer on until now. So there is still a chemistry, a learning curve that he's going to go through over the next 4 to 5 weeks that he's adjusting. But the encouraging part is from last week to this week was a huge jump. The scoreboard, the result, it is what it is. But I'm seeing wins within that. So we have to take that strength and build on that and continue to build on and harp on it infinitum. And the results will begin to take care of itself on the scoreboard. I firmly believe that.
Coach Mike with the Blade. In the second quarter there, you guys had 4th and 3 from the Cincinnati 41, called a timeout and then decided to punt. I guess, was there thought about going for it there, down 14-0, or did you feel pretty confident in punting there?
Well, I wanted to talk about it. Again, I'm looking at the flow of the game, how things were going. We down 14-0. I didn't want to give them a short field. Again, I wanted to, just be conservative until I get a good feel for my offense and where we're going in those situations. I don't want to just throw it at the wind and hope. I want to know for sure we got something dialed up. We are in rhythm. We got these guys in their heels. I just didn't feel it at that point in time. So I wanted to give myself a little time to breathe. I had 3 to burn, and I can't carry them home with me. So I wanted to give myself a little time to think it through, be smart about it, and put our defense in the good situations. I could see that they were on their heels a bit with the passing game, with their passing game against our defensive backs.
And Nicole Weaving with BCSN. I know that you kind of mentioned the idea of not finishing drives, and you haven't seen the film yet, obviously. But what did you notice in the first half? Do you feel was really killing drives, especially on unable to pick up third downs?
Self-inflicted wounds. I mean, you'll look at a missed block. Everybody took a turn, whether it was a receiver that missed a block or an offensive lineman missed a certain play or a certain player. And that's what it was. It was everybody was taking turns, making a mistake, or else it was out the gate. And you can look at it on the iPads, wow, we're one play away, one block here, one trip of the foot here, or less it's out the gate. And we could see it coming. I mean, Petaway had 6 yards per carry in the first half. Kadarius had some good runs. Our run game was there. We just have to convert on the 4th and 1s much better. I felt like we did a good job of goal line against their defense. So, again, there are the lessons that we have to learn. And again, when I look at the tape, I'll be able to give you a much better detailed explanation of why we didn't execute the way that we did. We didn't.
Austin Bass from Bearcat Journal. Cincinnati had over 200 yards rushing last week, and you held them to just over 100 this week. What went into stopping their run game?
Well, we knew everything started with the run for them, and especially their outside zone game. I mean, they got good offensive linemen. Their backs really hit it hard based off of what we saw. And one thing that we're built on and what we believe in here at Bowling Green is that we're going to run the ball and stop the run. That's number one. We want to control the A gaps. That's what we aim to do, and we felt like, hey, we're going to commit to that. We're going to try to make them earn every yard in terms of running the ball, and that's our mentality. So I was pleased to see that, and they were able to execute on the perimeter, and that's where we lost. And tip of the hat again to Cincinnati for doing it. So I think now we can grow and learn from those situations. But I'm proud of the way our guys played. We were able to hold a team of that caliber to that many yards in terms of running the football against us. Because if they got their running game on the rails, it could have been a long day. So we understood, what was at stake for us for that.
Kevin Peel, Falcon Sports Radio Network. Coach, one thing I wanted to check with you on, the depth, offensive line, defensive line. You've had a nice mixture and been able to get that rotation going. What battles did you see you were winning kind of in between? Were you getting a sense of what rotation you want to implement going forward as well?
Well, I'll say this. Our Greg Nosal, our offensive line coach, has autonomy over that mix. He has a good feel for that unit. That unit's been playing together, has been established before I got here. Is one of our strong points. So I'll leave that up to him to figure out those guys. But I think you're going to see a little bit more because we want to try to rotate, 6 to 7 guys up front that we feel like can play. They're 1As, and he's done a phenomenal job of getting those guys prepared each and every week. So again, I was pleased from last week to this week how we were able to get some holes for our running backs and establish a line of scrimmage and not get overwhelmed with it. And I believe that we stay committed to the process of us running the football. It's going to pay dividends later on in the year. And again, we just have to marry that with a steady passing attack, become more efficient, and get it on the same page and let the chips fall where they may. So we'll see.
We got a question here. Last question.
I'm Gary Schatz from the Associated Press. How encouraging is it in 2 games that you haven't turned the ball over?
Well, why would you say that? Now, why?
Huh?
Why would you even mention that to me?
Well,
Now you know what's going to happen, right? Now,
oh, you mean I'm a jinx?
duh. No. That's exciting. I look at our turnovers. We're not turning the ball over +1. We're not creating turnovers. And that's the problem. We have to learn how to create turnovers. And I talk about, our defense being surgical in terms of getting the ball out. And I think it's a situation where kids are still thinking about the calls, and we're not playing fast right now because we're still learning the defense, the nomenclature, the calls in real time. So it's tough for us to create those turnovers. But we work on every day. We're on the practice field is our turnover circuit and our ball security. I harp on that till no end. And I got a couple receivers and backs I'm going to get on for having the ball in the inside arm because it's only a matter of time before that happens. Kadarius actually did fumble the ball, and he recovered it on his own. But it's going to be emphasized daily as a part of our ethos is that we don't turn the ball over, and we're going to continue to work on those things. Thank you.
Kevin Hutchinson, Falcon Media Sports Network. So, Coach George, we possessed the ball for 37 minutes. The Bearcats possessed it for only 23. Still didn't come away with the win. So, in future games, especially against MAC opponents, what's the plan when it comes to capitalizing on each offensive possession and really getting the most out of that time of possession?
It's to score. It's again to finish. And typically, this time of year, when you don't have an offense that's been together, like an experienced offense, you're going to have that in the beginning where they are still learning how to finish together. Typically, when you have a team that's been together for 1 or 2 years, some parts, the quarterback, running backs, and they kind of know that you'll see more of that. So it's going to come. The fact that we're able to find it and get the play calls and be in position to do it is encouraging. Now we emphasize to finish with 7 points, not be satisfied with 3. So that's what we're going to continue to do, is to put our guys in the best position to succeed, to score, and just harp on we have to score touchdowns as we continue to move forward in their schedule.